different academics which you will want to study further to grasp the knowledge on data science. The second one is first one is full stack developer, which I proceeded with. I actually studied for both of them, and I saw that which one I'm comfortable with, and I was comfortable with full stack developer. So I went there. So basically, when I was giving the first round of tech systems or Walmart, the first was the coding round. So coding round, it's like the coding round. I started studying about code. I started studying as in the CPA is like competitive programming. Many of you know competitive programming as HackerRank, Lead Code, Geeks for Geeks, and all that. So I started learning that. I'll share the resources even with you guys. So when I started with coding, I started with HackerRank, and in there is an interview prep kit. So I started doing that, and I saw that when I was doing that in BTech, I thought that this is not that much important for a company, because at last in the company you have to do just either software development or it was service based company. So basically maintenance and testing. It actually is very mandatory, or it is very I would say beneficial for one to have a knowledge of the competitive programming, because the data structures which are used in competitive programming are really useful when you do any sort of logic building or any sort of application oriented things you do when your company. So competitive programming is very important. So I started doing that with. So I started with HackerRank. I started with HackerRank, and then I went to GFG. So GFG, there's Geeks for Geeks is a CSE portal which everyone must know. In that, there are must-do questions of for every topic, for arrays, strings, and for dynamic programming, graphs, everything. So I started doing that, and there are so many questions that you cannot do that in in a single month or in a 2 month a scenario when the company is coming after 2 months. So you cannot do that in just 2 months. So you have to make your schedule like that in which you cover the most important topics with a good time management. So what I did actually, I used to give 15 minutes to every question. Like 15 minutes, I'll think of logic building of every question. If I'm not able to do that, then I'll completely see the solution. I'll not take it in my ego that okay, I'm not able to build it. I'm not able to till I'm not able to solve this question. I'll not go to further question. This is not a test, or this is not a like exam in which you'll fail. It's just a practice, and you can easily do 15 minutes to any question. And if you're not able to build the logic, then you can see the solution. So this was pretty much a basic scenario which I thought, and which I to go further with. I did 15 minutes. If I'm able to build the logic in 15 minutes, I'll do the coding for next 10 minutes. And the syntax, we should know the syntax. There are so many nowadays in CP also. If you're doing in C++, then there is STL libraries in which if before when we used to learn all that, before when we had to make stack with arrays, we have to make queues with arrays and min heap max heap with arrays. Nowadays, it's like you directly have to write the stack, and the stack will be built with its own with all the properties in there. So these are some new things that have come around nowadays. So I did this. So after GFG, I went through lead code, and lead code is a difficult and better version of competitive programming, in which there are around 1,000 plus questions, and you got to do like with every topic. So it's like there also I applied the same logic of 15 minutes doing the question, thinking about the logic, and if not, then I went on to see the solution, and then I again do it without seeing the solution or after understanding the solution. So this was how I managed my time doing CP, because both in when you are in BTech and when you're in M.Tech, the course or the semester study is already hectic, and there are so many other things that you want to do. So the focus on placement is the focus on placement is also necessary. So time management is very important, and this is how I used to do that semester work. I'll do for the first uh, till the evening when there are the college time. Till the college time, I'll try to complete all the semester work or something which is important for that day or for the next day. And then after evening, when I'll take a break, after taking a break, I'll start with coding and aptitude. So coding I did like this in for any company or any placement. Uh, thing. And then I also did aptitude. So I started aptitude in like practicing aptitude very much in third semester itself. As in, I started with the book Quantitative Aptitude by R.S. Agarwal, and when I did that, when I solved that, it was pretty much like the questions are pretty much same because the book is given by the topic. Book is given topic wise, so the questions were same. But when I went to some higher level books like Arun Sharma, that is for CAT. So in that the questions became very difficult, and I didn't personally believe that for placements that much level of aptitude is needed. So for if someone is going to if someone is going for CAT or someone is going for MBA, so he should or he or she should definitely go for this aptitude book of Arun Sharma for CAT. So and then the next was CS conceptual topic. So we read that in our semester work on itself, as in the networking, computer networks, COA, architecture, and databases. All this is CS conceptual topics. And with the in the first round itself, I encountered some questions which are like C questions, as in if the variable is register, auto, or something like that. So these conceptual topics. Second one, so the for clearing the first round, I guess the profound knowledge of comparative programming and aptitude and CS conceptual topics should be a go through for all of them. It should be in hands-on that you're able to solve any comparative programming with a good logic building and with a feasible solution that the complexity is less. So you should have all this knowledge. Second one was have a good CV with good projects. So before making good projects, so what I was telling, before making good projects, you should know what career you are going into. As in, the algorithms and comparative programming are needed for every company. Second is full stack developer. So in full stack developer there are I chose full stack developer, and in full stack developer there are majorly three things. One is front end, a back end, and framework which is connecting the front end and back end. So this is called a full stack developer, as in you know uh, all the three things which are connecting to each other, and that what makes an application full stack. So in full stack, first in BTech I didn't know much about this. I just knew that okay, we already we like when in my time, um, I was doing front end and this HTML, CSS, and uh, JavaScript. And backend I was using MySQL, and there was no framework, as in we were connecting backend directly with front end. But when I went to M.Tech, as in, it's not just about M.Tech or something. When I went in the M.Tech, they gave such projects in which I have to think that, okay, I just cannot connect front end and back end directly. I have to make a framework in which that is connecting so that it will be feasible and it will be a non-complex application, which does not, which does not depends if the front end stops, so the back end would still work. If the back end stops, the front end would work unless and until we are connecting that with back end for that instance. So full stack developer is that. And so when I started studying about full stack, the front end, I had an interest on full stack developer because I was very interested in making APIs. So APIs are nothing but like we can call that as functions APIs, and I like it connects the backend and front end because API is a function. So function would take that data from the backend, the data, and it would connect to and it would like redirect all the data with the proper logic to the front end. So like that. So full stack developer is this. So uh, in front end, I started with React.js. You must know about React.js. So it's a JavaScript, but it's a TypeScript. So it contains all of the front end with the API functions, which like redirecting and all the APIs in the front end, and then redirecting without loading. So that is React. And the frameworks for Spring Boot, I actually started with Jersey, but Jersey is actually you can say that um, in programming languages there are C, C++, and Java and all. So C is the basic language. So it's the Jersey is like the basic of the frameworks, and then there is Spring Boot. So Spring Boot is pretty much like you would have antonyms and all that, so that you just have to use that keyword and the function would automatically start. You don't have to tell the logic of that API. So Spring Boot. And then the third was databases. So databases is like there are two types of basically databases. One is SQL and non-SQL. So full stack developer is basically these three things: front end, back end, and frameworks. उसके बाद when I started doing that, and nowadays there is DevOps also. So what is DevOps? DevOps is basically the containerization of all these three things in one place, so that if uh, if you make any changes to automate the process. So what happens? When you edit a change, or when you make a change in the project, it will automate all the process, like building and then testing, that all the test cases are running in spite of the change, and then again deploying the application in the deploying the application wherever you want to, like Azure SQL or anywhere. um, this is DevOps. So in DevOps is basically there are four to five technologies like Jenkins, Rundeck, or Docker, ELK stack, JUnit. JUnit is for testing. ELK stack is for like it's for showing the status of the project through images, like through dashboards, to graphs, so that you'll be able to understand more that how your project is doing in case of deployment. And that is Docker. Docker is basically for containerization. And Jenkins is like the inside Docker there is Jenkins. So Jenkins is basically continuous integration and continuous deployment. As in when you make a change in GitHub, so yeah, in GitHub, so it will automate the process. The Jenkins will automate the process, and it will help through building and testing of the application. And I would also say that GitHub is basically like for any project, for anything you do in computer science world, the GitHub is majorly used in, because see, you not just do the project alone. There are many people in the project who will be doing and who will be contributing their individual contribution. There will be their individual contribution, and they will be trying to merge that logic or that module with your module. So GitHub is basically very important for that, because what GitHub does, GitHub maintains all the network, that okay, there are three branches of one project, and the first branch brought this module, so I'll include that in the master branch. The second one included that. So like that, GitHub is very important. So you should have a knowledge of GitHub as well. If you're like irrespective of any field you are going into, GitHub is very important. Third one is like basically this is full stack developer. Like in a nutshell, this is full stack developer. That there are three majorly things: front end, back end, and framework. I'll share the resources from where I read all that, and after seeing that, you'll have a basic knowledge of what is like how is a full stack developer working on every three things at the same time. So I'll share that. The third is data science. I basically started knowing about data science in my M.Tech when I had a course of machine learning. So in machine, then there were that was the basics of machine learning, in which I studied about Python language, first of all Python language, and there are some libraries in like machine learning, like NumPy and Panda and all that, through which you can analyze and calculate the logical data and all that. And there are some some models to analyze the data, that how much accuracy it is giving. So this is all pretty much data science. Like not all. This was the basics of data science, and then I realized that I have no interest in data science, because like I don't. I was interested in making APIs, and I was interested in basically doing backend work. So I chose full stack developer. So after choosing all this, after choosing a career to go into, after choosing a field to go into, you should make good projects with that. So having a good CV means having good projects basically. And it's not that you are, it's not just that you are, you know, uh, writing the projects that you have finished in a good in your CV. It's not like that. You can also write that projects you tried, and like what happens in GitHub, there are already existing projects, so you can you can fork the projects, as in that you can make a copy of the projects and include your contribution, and then pull it back into GitHub. So what happens? See, GitHub is an open source. So what happens in open source? If there are some existing projects, even you can include your contribution, and then you can say that the project I did my contribution in this project, irrespective that the project is made from some other people of the some other country or something. It doesn't matter. So this is GitHub. So you can include that also. It's not necessary that you're making that project from scratch, or you are making that project all by yourself. Then only you write that in your CV, or you have completed that project successfully. Then you are writing a CV. It's not necessary to do all that. You can just write the contribution of yours, and also the thing that you tried, and it's you are working on. So it's not necessary that if you're working on it, you'll be successful in the first step even. Like you can try with different languages, you can try with different complexities or different logics so that it becomes a feasible project and all that. So having a good CV is a must for any company, because the first round, as in if you are going through off-campus hiring, the first round is the screening round, and screening round they see your CV. It's not at all. It's a myth actually when they say that they see your college. The companies nowadays never see your college. The companies when they're recruiting off campus, they never see your college. They always see you always see your CV. They always see your projects, and they see that if those projects are compatible with the field for their they're hiring, as in for the you know if I'm going for SDE, the software development engineer. So are my projects even related to that? And how they are related? As in, would I be a good backend? Would I be a good front end? Or can I do a full stack be a full stack developer? So this is what a CV shows, that which field you are interested in. So making good CV is very much for any company. And projects, I told you, first you should learn all these skills as in technical skills, and then you should have a team of 4 to 5 your friends. You should have a team of 4 to 5 which can work on any project, and you can divide your work. I'll come to that later. Third one would be communication skills. Okay, so how communication skills is is must in every scenario of your life. It's not just some company hiring. It's not just like before hiring with the manager, with the interviews and all. It's after that also, when you are into some job, when you are into college, when you are in college. So I remember we had this personality development sessions which Monica ma'am took, and there I saw that how am I lacking in communication skills? As in, I could not even present myself for 10 minutes in in my third year. So that was a very that was a moment when I realized that I have to build my communication skills. I have to build my confidence for that. So first of all, that for that you should know, like you should know about yourself first. So I'll tell you my experience of um, tech systems when I was giving BTech. So there I wrote a project about there I wrote a project which I did not complete, which I did not fully complete. It was half done, and half I thought that I would do, but I didn't do that. As in, because we were into placement, so coding, aptitude, CS topics, and then semester work, and then I was preparing for GATE. So I could not do that project completely, but I wrote that. And I did not even think that he'll ask me from that project. I thought that maybe because I wrote that in the last, so that my CV looks good, and also CV gets full, as in it's a complete page. So I wrote that project, but I did not complete it. So what I did, and surprisingly, he asked me from that project itself that you have done database certification from NPTEL, and so how did you use that certification, or how did you use that knowledge into this project, which I didn't do completely. And I was a little bit for 1 2 seconds I was like, what should I say? And then I told you, see, I have thought that project. I had thought that project in my mind, and I can just say that I have done this and this and this. And if he'll ask me some questions, I'll say this confidently, because he doesn't know that project. He hasn't seen that project. He was seeing the title and the introduction and description of the project, but he cannot see the project which I am thinking. So with your thinking, I built that project in my mind for for a second, for 5 seconds, I thought, and then I started giving him answers. So he said, I told that database what, and also I knew the technical skills, as in I knew the knowledge of databases. So in databases, that is primary key, foreign key, that is basics, and then concurrency, how I'm like avoiding all the how I'm saying concurrency control, I'm avoiding that sharing thing. So all that, so I shared with him, and he was quite he said that, okay, I never thought that way in databases. I never thought that way in databases, because he was actually in maintenance and all that. So he told me that. So he was quite impressed, but I did not do that project. So it's all about your confidence, how you're communicating yourself. So if even if you have done that project, even if you've done that project, so it's basically how you are explaining that project to him. Otherwise, he won't be able to think of the project just by seeing the description itself. So it's all about communication skills. Also, I'll tell you the experience of my Walmart HR round. So in HR round, he asked me. So there was just HR round. There was no technical round. So he asked me about myself first. So it should be like you can tell about yourself for at least 15 minutes. I went on telling myself for about 20 minutes. Starting from my fifth class, I started telling about him that what I wanted to do in fifth, what I wanted to do in like fifth to 10th class when I was like as in see in fifth to 10th you're not like uh, confident enough to what career you will choose what and like it's still till you get to college you're not sure of what career you will choose. So I was not like I wanted to be. I'll tell you honestly, I wanted to be a like F1 motor racer in fifth class. I told him that, so he laughed instantly. Like he laughed there itself. So he said, "So why are you here? Why are you even in like engineering world when you wanted to be that?" I was like, "He said that was a good stream, and like, uh, I never even like initiated myself, or I never initiated to do that thing because I grew old and I like I thought that this is a more honest and like practical uh, what do you say practical approach to future, you'll say. So that one is like that was no off limits. I wouldn't even go to my tell into my house, tell it my house in my house that okay I want to be that. So I told him from since fifth class that like since from first I wanted to be this, but then I when I came to 11th I would be like I took science and then B.Tech when I failed in JE and what I did to like to stood up for myself, what I did to build my confidence if I failed in something, then what I did to build myself and all, and then how I gave the exam, how I like how my BTech built my confidence that much that I can be in some other college other than like being some far college and then still compete with the existing students or compete with the students around the country and all that. So this is all coming. This I told him. So he was quite impressed, and then he asked me. So apart from academics, he asked me about my co-curricular activities, as in what I did in college, like beyond academics. So you can understand what he was asking. So it's like you should be confident enough and be comfortable enough if you're asking some personal questions, as in if you're asking about family, if you're asking about friends, you should be confident and you should be comfortable telling with respecting your boundaries that okay, I want to tell this much, so I'll tell this much, and I'll be confident. I'll be easy, as in I'll not stress myself if he's asking some personal situation. Like he asked me about choosing my friends and my some particular friends and some friends as in so how would I choose them. So I like gave him a basic answer as in what anyone would do, but like I gave him an easy answer. No, like I did not stress, even I did not stress at all, because he was asking personal questions to me, and like I was saying that where would this conversation go if he asked me about that and I answer this, where would this conversation go in the later like 20 minutes. Because if I'm answering something, he would obviously do a follow-up question. He would obviously give a follow-up question which is related to this. So how would I answer to that? So I had prepared everything in mind and I gave him the answer, so that he cannot ask me even further like about anything that I'm not comfortable with. So it's all about preparing about yourself in your mind and having confidence. Okay, whatever I'm saying, it's basically the truth, and I do not regret of it. I do not, I do not fear about telling about myself. So it's all confidence which has to be there in yourself. So this is basically communication skills. Okay. So fourth one is teamwork. So I'll tell you one scenario in my summer internship at Walmart. So when it started, any project starts, any project starts, you always go for the first tech stack, the technology stack uh, which you will be going further with. So I told that I'm comfortable with Spring Boot, but both of the other interns, as in both of the two interns, they told that no, actually we are comfortable with Node.js, so let's go with Node.js. So I said okay, let's go with Node.js. If it's meant that I have to learn that Node.js in 1 week, I will learn that. Or even I'll learn the basics so that when some situation arrives, I'll learn from that, like I'll learn from Google and then I'll apply. So basic knowledge I'll cover it. So I respected that their view. Okay, there are two people and they are telling Node.js. So let's go with Node.js. So it's not like you have to take it in ego. Okay, I learned Spring Boot, so I'll do only in Spring Boot. Okay, I'll not do with you because like I can also make this project all by myself. It's not like that. So sometimes it happens that you're not able to do something. So the teamwork, your team is your backup, and it would never be like your team is not standing for you. If you're not able to do and you're calling your teammate that okay, I'm not able to do, please tell that and please can you do this work. So obviously he'll say okay, I can do half of this because I have my own work, so but I can do half of this. Or if you won't be able to do, then you can directly say ki, I'm not able to do this, can you help me with it? And obviously team helps very much. So what happened? They told me we'll do with Node.js. So okay. Next day we were supposed to tell the mentor that okay we'll do this, and he asked me ki, okay, I've seen your resume and you are pretty much confident with Spring Boot. So do you want to do in Spring Boot? So I said, please sir, I can do with Spring Boot. I can do with Node.js, but I have to learn Node.js because it like I haven't learned that. It would take time, but I can do it. So he himself said, okay, let's go with Spring Boot because Spring Boot is actually flexible, concise, and quite like less complex than Node.js. It's on people to people how they are like thinking of like how they are taking that language or something. So I also found Spring Boot much less complex than Node.js. We eventually went with Spring Boot. And then what happened? Then they both didn't disagree. As in they were also both quite comfortable and quite agreeing to what mentors say. So like it's like they won't say that in front of a mentor, but they also didn't say that in front of me, or they also didn't show that remorse, saying that okay, we told Spring Node.js, but you are taking Spring Boot, so will not talk to you or will not contribute in this. It's never like that. So you should respect your team should respect you, and that is how a team is built, and that is how a project is done, as in anything is done, not just in IT world or anything. Anything team is very important. So this is how teamwork is done. And see, good projects. What I told about good CV. Your CV will be built not just by yourself, but with your friends also, but by your friends also. Like you should have a group of 2 to 3 people who are thinking exactly, not exactly the same thing that you are, but have a idea about have a good idea about what the project is, and have that logical thinking that they can build this project, how they will build it, how they will, build this project. So the logical thinking should match. First of all, the approach to see the higher thing, the overview of the project, the approach to see that okay, we can make this project successful. So that is much needed in a team. And your CV, see, you can write always write about the project, but always write about your contribution in that project, so that the whoever the interviewer or the any panelist will see okay, you are interested in this field, basically in this field you are basically interested in, like I'm interested in full stack developer or SD, but I'm basically majorly interested in backend and front. So how this is how a good project is made, this is how teamwork is made. And the next one will be maintaining logs or journal. So um, see, many people say that making journal or making, see, I'm not saying write about yourself, like write about what happened to you in your diary. No, not that. I'm saying maintain logs or journals, as in what task you were supposed to do today, and what task did you do, and did it fail or did you succeed in that task? As in what I do, since summer intern I started this, so I always write my task for tomorrow. Always write my task for tomorrow, and tomorrow I see my diary and I see that okay, I have to do these tasks, so that I'll be time efficient, I'll be work efficient. If you have if you have certain number of tasks in your mind, you cannot always think of how much, like you cannot always complete all the tasks. It's like that. And with this you'll always waste time, because you'll think okay, I have done this work, okay, I'll think of the another work which I have to do, and I'll do that at some later point of time. It's not like that. You always have a particular list of tasks what you need to do for the next day, and you should always complete that. Also at the night you should always revise all those tasks, and you should write okay, did I succeed, did I fail, or and if I succeeded, was it efficient, or I could have saved more time. Like it should be a similar household work or something. Like Okay, household work, as in you went to shopping, you went to anything, anywhere. So you should always write those tasks so that you will understand in the night. Okay, I didn't waste my time, and that is what would build your confidence. Okay, and would change your attitude and perspective towards like life. Okay, I didn't waste my time, and if I could have, or I could have invested this time in some other place that would have been more efficient, or I could have invested in some new task which I liked or doing my passion when I completed all the work. So this is what a journal is supposed to do to you. And also, see, you're thinking that, okay, I remember something happened to you yesterday. Okay, so some question you did yesterday, and you're thinking about, okay, I did that question yesterday, so that was the wrong thing I did, and I will correct that. But 1 week later, when you'll again go through the same as in similar question, so you'll not remember that. I'm telling you, because you'll be doing like 100 questions in a week. Suppose you're doing 100 questions a week. So after that, like when you'll do some other question, similar question, you will not remember, okay, then second question what I did was similar to this. You should always maintain a diary. You should always see that. And it would, like, writing also makes you remember much, makes you remember things. So this all log. So I made this in summer intern. I always used to make like that what I did at the like what I did the whole day. At the end of the day, I used to write that, and I used to write the next day task and all that. I used to complete that before even 7 o'clock, so that after 7 o'clock, I go for playing, I go for a ride or something somewhere. But I don't, I don't. So see, in between, you cannot do things because you will have in mind that, okay, you have to do this, you have to do this, and that would be running in your mind. So you cannot do some other task very, functionally or devotedly. So you should complete a task within a certain amount of time so that you have enough time to do your passion or your hobbies. So that is what journals do, make you work efficient, make you time efficient. And it's not, it's not a particular skill required for any company, but it's a skill required to build yourself. And that is what required if you go to anything in life. Actually, it is required. You should have communication skills, you should have teamwork, you should have, you know, you should be time efficient, work efficient. You should have an attitude to, okay, I'll do this, I'll need this much time, and I'll do this in this much time. And if you're not able to do it, it's okay because you put your 100%. It's all that. Yeah, so basically, these are all the skills required, I'll say, for any hiring or any hiring process. So the technical skills I told you, algorithm and competitive programming is a must. I'll share the resources from where I read competitive programming. So see, this all I learned in, I realized this in M.Tech, okay, that it's not, confined to people who are in M.Tech, but who are, in M.Tech or doing masters only, they are confined to this thing. No, I learned all these things in Dual itself, and basically for free. Everything. When I selected the courses, opted the courses in M.Tech, I did not get the book of like programming languages. Okay, this is the book of programming languages. This is on triple ITP, and like it's only in triple ITP. We're not learning anywhere else. Not at all like that. Being a full stack developer and all that, it's like I was given projects. My team, as in our team, was given projects, and we have to think of the programming language that we would make to make it a good and successful feasible project. So we only thought that what should we do? So full stack, we went for React. I learned React from frontendmasters.com. I learned Spring Boot from a YouTube channel, Java Brains, which is very helpful for Java. I learned MongoDB as in NoSQL. MongoDB is a NoSQL, which I learned from Google itself, YouTube. So basically, everything is for free and it's not confined to M.Tech. Even if I had this knowledge in B.Tech, I would have definitely done all this so that I would have a greater, like a greater hand among all the people I'm sitting with in placements. I would have a, advantage basically. If I'm sitting with my people itself, then I would have an advantage because the field they are looking for is suppose they're looking for a developer, and I know all these things beforehand. I do not have to go into some college, or I do not have to take much time as in drop after my BTech so to grasp all this and then go for these languages and all that. No, I did competitive programming, so I did like third and fourth semester we did hacker rank and all that. Then I left because I was into gate because I didn't know that okay, competitive programming is needed after it, like after when you go into M.Tech, competitive programming is needed there itself. If I would have known that, I would have not left it. Also, if I have known that okay, just HTML, CSS, and JavaScript is not the world, I would have went into React or Spring Boot or Jersey, Angular JS. There are many things. I definitely would have done that. And data science, I'll tell you I didn't take data science. I just studied I studied basics. So if someone is interested, I'll tell the like what are the what are the uh, advanced courses of that. That is deep learning, neural net. You can go into neural networks, image recognition, natural processing language, and speech recognition. And I'll share the YouTube links of that. They're based very like if you know the basics of ML, you definitely, if you're interested in machine learning, you will be interested in these all fields, and you can definitely go further with data science. So I'll go on with this. So see, I'll tell you about this. I went through on-campus hiring both of my time, but I have seen people who are into the UL and all that. My batch people, not BTech, my M.Tech batch people who are into off-campus hiring, and they tell me that they Google, like be it any company. I'll just tell about Google because my friend is in Google. She told me that they didn't even ask that I'm from which like she's from which college. They didn't even ask her. It was just mentioned because they had to see what degree she's doing and all that, but they didn't even consider okay she's from this college, so okay then only we check. If you are from tier 3 college and you want, that is not at all an off-campus hiring. Off-campus hiring is simply like they see your skills, they see your resume, they see your potential, they see your interest, and then they hire you. So for that, see, being in BTech, it's like being in like on-campus with on-campus placement. You should always do, but you should always aim for higher and all that. Being in top companies. So what you should do? These are some basic like steps what you can do to um, build yourself for off-campus hiring. So first is maintain a good profile and network on LinkedIn. So what happens? LinkedIn is basically the career portal for all of the CS people, for all of people actually, not just CS. CS is for IT, it is for sales and all that. Like any field you want to go into, that LinkedIn is there for career portal. So you should have a good profile on LinkedIn that your profile is neat, as in there is a proper description about yourself. There is proper, whatever it is, resume. The LinkedIn is like just like that. So what studies you did, what are your experiences, what are your skills, and nowadays there are endorsements for skills. What are your projects? What are your certifications? You write all of that. You include your resume in that. Everything you would make a good profile, and then you build your network. So how you build your network? Uh, See, first you decide a career, the field which you want to. Suppose you want to go into developer, software developer. You see that what are the big companies that are hiring for, like that are giving this field, as in that are, see, so every field has a software, every company has a software developer field for them. So you see that okay, start with alumni. So start with alumni, as in start with the people who are passed out from BIT and who are in good companies. Suppose okay, so you saw that okay, this person is in a good company, so I'll connect with him. You connect with him, so you'll get some suggestions. Okay, this is from your college, and he is in this company, so you'll connect with him. So like this, you can connect with people who are like who know you, basically who are from the same background as yours, and are in like I have gone further to in companies, passed out and went to good companies. So you can make that alumni network, and then from their suggestions you can connect with anyone, not just particularly your college, but you can connect with anyone, and you can see nowadays people are very ready to help, very ready to suggest, and even sometimes people give referrals also. That they write in LinkedIn, okay, I'm giving a referral. Whoever wants to apply can write in comments or write in this apply to this thing, and then they see your CV. So if your CV is good enough, to be in any company, and see if it's on campus, if it's off campus, CV is very important. So you should not think that okay, I'm in on campus, so they won't see my CV. Sometimes it's just reject by CV, and that interview is mere a formality for them that okay, CEO is not good, but since we hired him, since we selected him for this round, let's just take an interview from him, like for sake. But it's not that. CV is very important because from that they see okay what you have done. See, you prepared for your interview, it's very fun. But when you are not preparing for interview, what all things you did which makes your like, which would help build your career, that is very important. Like you do not know that this company is coming. So what you did then, that is very important. So basically, this is the thing that you make good network, you make good projects, you make a good network on LinkedIn so that whenever some referral is coming or some senior or some anyone is giving a referral, you can directly connect to him and ask for him for a referral. And what a referral does, see, first round is screening round. So with CV being good and referral, you can skip one or two rounds of that company. You can directly jump to second step or third step. It's like that in a referral thing. So referrals are very important in off-campus hiring because in off-campus hiring many people apply. from like around the country. Many people apply for like more than, I'll say more than 10, 20,000. That's just a least number. So to hire, to get hired from that more, like to be in that 1% of like the hired students, you should have, first of all, your CV should be very good. You should have a referral. That referral helps very, not should, but you, if you have a referral, that is much better, because the referral, you just clear that eliminatory round. Eliminatory round as in the screening round, the sometimes the aptitude round, you just clear that, so that they can just directly jump you to the second or third round, because you have a referral, and because from the person you're getting referral, that is like that has a good image, or that has a good image in company. So that's why they trust that, okay, if he or she is referring you, then you would obviously be someone who has a great potential and all that. And also in LinkedIn, there are few, there are like when you search for internship, when you search for full time, there are like portals in which company directly post that in LinkedIn itself, so that you can directly apply from that LinkedIn. You don't have to go to target every company, as in, go to Google, okay, apply there, go to here, like Adobe and apply that, go to Walmart and apply that. No, in LinkedIn, it's like they give you series of like companies, okay, which are hiring, which are open to hiring for this field, and you can apply. I'll say ki if you're not getting any, like if you're getting a backup, if you're aiming for a full-time job after BTech, I'll say if you're not getting a full-time job, like but start from internship. So internship is also very mandatory for you to, internship. If you're not getting full-time, then internship can also be very useful to you in, like for full-time, because in internship they always see that how you're working, and they see that companies do internship because they have some works which their full-time people don't have the time to do, because full-time people have much more things to do, because there are many projects going on. So the terminal projects which can be done in 2 to 3 weeks, or like 2 to 3 months, the company hire internships for that. So if they like our work, if they like the work which is done in internship, they would definitely choose you for full-time. That's for sure. So that's why if you're not getting a full-time job, you should always look out for internships as well. And LinkedIn has a series of companies. Always there is some company seeking, like giving internship. They are like, in May, June, July. There are seasons in which the hiring is an off-campus hiring. Sometimes it's done in February, March. Nowadays, June, July, maybe there will be some companies which will be hiring. So every company has their own season in which they hire off-campus. So it's like that. And sometimes there is a vacancy, so also for that they hire. But they want to hire interns, or they want to hire full time, like basic full time people, so that they do complete a certain amount of job. And if they are doing it very efficiently and very like profitably, because the time is money, and if you are wasting their time, then they will obviously think that you're wasting their money. Actually, they will think that, because see, if you take time on learning, okay, we give 1 to 2 weeks, I guess, for learning, that okay, these are the textbooks you have to learn all this. But uh, like next to that, the third week, they would not see that okay, you are just wasting your time on learning. You have to do something about that. So that's how an internship works. They will see that okay, you are managing your time, you are like managing their time, you are saving their time. As in, if they say this work has to be done today, if you're not doing it by today, do it by tomorrow, but do it. As in, you don't always say that okay, I'm not able to do it. So that way, it was like you don't have a learning potential. I'm not saying that you don't have, but they would think like that. Company always thinks that okay, you are able to solve this problem, you are able to solve this problem in one, not one, then 2 days, but you're able to solve this problem. So they will see that. So internships are and are useful like that. That they would see that you have potential, and then they can hire you for full time. And also, say some target companies, some companies do not, when some companies do not, um, post their career openings in LinkedIn. So you can just go to the target companies and check their career portal, so which field they're hiring for, and then you can just apply in that with a CV and with some description. Sometimes they give a description as to why you want to be hired and all that. So you write it very, efficiently, and with full motivation. Okay, that you are a good learner, you are having motivation, and you are ready to take all the challenges that they give you as an intern, as a full time, everything. As an interviewee, also you have the you accept the challenges of answering any question with full confidence and with full um, with a good attitude, with a positive attitude, okay, that I'll be able to do all this. So that's basically, it. So further career options, okay. So this was pretty much, this was it. So further career options would be, see, M.Tech. If you want to do masters, then M.Tech. So the option is GATE. Second would be, I told this that I learned all this in M.Tech, but it's not confined to M.Tech. You can do all this in B.Tech. Everything which I told, that was not at all confined to M.Tech. That all you can do with BTech, you have to just put an extra effort. You have to put an extra consistent effort to learn the things which are not taught in the semester or in the academics. Because see, academics teach you basic, and it's not like academic is not important. Academics in semester are very important because like networking, architecture, and what databases and all that, they ask the companies ask that, the interviewer panelists ask that, and these are what you can get from the semester work. The OS is very important. Sorry, I forgot OS. OS is very important for all this scale, because OS teaches you scaling as to how you would build your project. So there are two types of scaling: horizontal, vertical scaling. As to, so these are all the technical things. But how, like, whatever you are learning in BTech, as in your basic computer courses, like computer science courses, OS, CN, COA, DBMS, all these are very important for you to, uh, for gaining your knowledge, for knowledge that you can go and apply that knowledge in the jobs. So island-based DBMS, island OS from Monica Island, DBMS from uh, Bhavani sir. So these are very important things. These were very important, and these helped me a lot actually. DBMS helped me a lot because that's how I, know, uh, did my gave my placement in BTech. I did my like interview and placement. I told you into a database. So that this is it. Like, so if you want to go to M.Tech, if you want to have a further career option as an M.Tech, so you can go for the sorry. Sorry. So second is MS. So MS is basically, you can say that M.Tech of, see, MS is done here itself. MS is done in abroad also. So if you want to see in India also, MS is done. Basically, what happens? See, in India, if you are seeing M.Tech, so M.Tech is for industry oriented people, as in who want to go into companies, industry oriented. MS in India is research oriented. So if you want to go into research, you can go for MS in India. And what happens in MS in abroad? When you give GRE and you apply for MS in abroad, in the starting itself, MS is categorized into two things. One is professional masters, and second is research masters. So professional masters is similar to M.Tech in India, as in they teach you about industry-oriented things, industry-oriented projects, industry-oriented. Like they build you for industries, as in like how we are built in M.Tech, how we are built as an M.Tech in India. That is professional masters in uh, abroad. Next is research masters, which is MS in India, similar to MS in India. Like you are into research now. You are sometimes what happens, people do MS because they want to do PhD. I'll come to that in the third point. So MS is basically a research in MS, two types in abroad, professional and research masters. Research masters is basically research oriented. When you want to proceed yourself in some field which you are interested, you just don't want to do deterministic work, as in, so deterministic work would be like what we are doing, making a project, making an application, and seeing that the application meets its values. So that way the project is, the application is completed. But in research oriented, there are no limitations to anything. There are no deterministic work here. Your research, your field of study, that can go further and further. It's about you, that how you're thinking on a logical level, that okay, if I can do this, if I could have done this, this is the basic, this is the existing scenario. If I can make it more efficient, if I can make an contribution and add a more functionality to this thing, so it's all done. A research. So that is MS. Third one is research and PhD. So I have a friend Ayush who is doing PhD from Germany, and I met him in Triple ITP, and he told me that when I was applying in that foreign university, they didn't even they didn't know what Triple IT is, because they in foreign and abroad only, they people know only about IIT. They don't know about Triple IT. So So he had a, so what happened in third year of his like integrated M.Tech, he did this. He applied for an university. He directly applied to the professor who was teaching that university because he was interested in basically this field, and that professor in that university was good and had a degree or was studying or was working in that field itself. So he just, like, he just mailed him that I'm interested in this field and I want to do in this field. So basically, I want to do a 2 or 3 months like internship under you and have to go into research oriented things in this. So he got called, and he was like, he spent his 2 months summer internship of the third year in Germany, and he did that research oriented work. So when he came, he had this experience, okay, and he had this, like interest in research things that had. He made like 2 to 3. He like wrote 2 to 3 research papers, and then he applied in some university in Germany, and he got selected for that. So it's basically, if you want to go into research, I would suggest that first go for MS. MS is basically 2 years program. So you would have a, see, in a BTech, in BE BTech, you don't have a like a research atmosphere in college. So if you go into MS first, MS as an MS in India itself, you can go. So you will see, okay, if you want to go into research, so these 2 years, you'll see how, if you like it, if you like the field of, if you like the field which you're exploring and all that. So if you are comfortable and all that, then you can definitely go for PhD. If you're not, after MS also, you can go for industries, as in you can go for jobs. Uh, because you would do MS in some good colleges like IITs, triple IITs, and when you're doing there, then they consider you for placement itself. I'm in the placement committee of my college, so I can tell that MS people also sit for in certain placements when they, when they see that, okay, I'm not like I'm not interested in a research oriented work. I have to do industry oriented work, so they sit for placements and they get placed. So it's like that. If you don't want to do research, if you don't want to, uh, for like proceed yourself in research or work, then you can definitely go for industry after MS. But if you're going to PhD, if you're liking the research thing, then you should go for 2 years MS, and you should see and explore that, okay, if I'm liking it or not, and then you should go for PhD. The PhD is minimum is 4 to 6 years, so that would take 4 to 6 years of your life. So you should be devoted enough. You should be consistent enough to do a PhD. If you're not breaking between. Yeah. So for this MBA, MBA is like basically a management, like MBA, management thing. I don't know. My sister is in IIM Shillong, and she did through CAT. We gave CAT at the same time. So MBA is basically a different, not technical, but a management option if you want to go into. So yeah, basically this was it. Yeah, so thank you everyone, and I hope that you all understood everything, or basically one or two things which I said. I told it in a like haste at just 1 hour. So yeah, thank you everyone.
Thank you so much, sir. It was really an amazing presentation. Now, it is a request to all our audience to kindly fill the attendee feedback form. We would definitely like to hear your feedback. So, continuing us even, I would like to give this opportunity to our fellow audience to directly interact with our speaker by questioning. Anyone having doubts regarding anything can come up over here and discuss, or else they can write in the chat box.
Hello, sir.
Yeah,
Am I audible?
yeah. Hi, Pranjal.
Yeah. Hello, sir. Sir, so my question was, what would be your advice for a student going into third year? And I would be really honest with you. I'm asking as a student who have actually wasted his second year. So, what would be your advice? What would be we work on?
So what do you want to, as in, what do you want to go into, as in, you want to do masters or you want to have a job first of all?
So, M.Tech. So, definitely M.Tech. I want.
As in, why do you want to do MTech?
So I basically so there are two things I'm not sure about. So first of all, I would really like I would maybe I want to go into research. I'm not sure. Or I would be a professor in a college. Go as a professor.
Very nice actually. If you want to do M.Tech, you can, like, if you want to go into research, just as I told that you can do MS or M.Tech. It's not necessary that you do MS itself. You can do M.Tech, and then you can go into, like, you can see what. First of all, you have to decide the field which you go into. Like, I did a research paper. I not wrote a research paper, but I did research on 5G and connected vehicles, and in networking part. So I thought I'm interested in that. Like, I was interested in networking and 5G, and I wrote a paper on that. I did not publish it in any journal, but I, like, wrote a paper in that. And so this is how first you should decide. First you should decide what, like, field you are interested into, and after that you should see that, okay, there are some professors in that college which are, you know working on that field. As in, I'll tell you about my college in, like, M.Tech. I'll tell you about M.Tech. So there is this Das sir who is working on networking and 5G and connected vehicles. So he was working on that, and I got in, like, I took some interest in that, and I approached him, and he said that, okay, you can work in this and all that. And we had a course also of networking. So that's how I approached if I wanted to do research. But then I decided that, okay, I don't want to do research. I wanted to be an industry oriented thing. So if you want to go into research, so first you should see the field which are interested in. So it could be anything, anything in, like, you can take anything first of all, and after that you see what professors or college professor which college are working on that field, and you can go into that. It's,
Okay, sir. Sir, one more thing was,
yeah.
sir, I wanted to do M.Tech because and there was one more reason that if my interest changed for maybe after some times, then I would also have a chance for on-campus placements if I got a good college. I was also considering that.
Definitely. Actually, this was my thing. This was my, actually, imagination also, that I want to do M.Tech because of placements. But see, I'm telling you now also that M.Tech, okay, there is M.Tech because, like, you can go into good colleges through like, through GATE exams and all. But the companies do not, they come into on campus because they have a good relationship with college, that's for sure. But you can be into, that good company even when you are not going through M.Tech. You are When you are applying through off campus hiring, that is a, like, good opportunity also. I'll say that first, if the first priority of yours is, if it's research, then you can definitely go for M.Tech. But if you're thinking of having a, like, career in the industries and all that, so you can start that by today itself, by, you know um, getting into industry related work, what they do. And if you want to be into, like, full stack and all that, so you can go with that. I'll suggest that. If you want to go into research, then definitely do M.Tech or MS. And but if you want to have a backup, you can start that by now. You just don't have to wait to get into M.Tech, and you don't have to, get into that college and then start working. You can just, start this work now. Maybe you get a good company after your B.Tech, so you don't have to waste your 2 years and waste your money to get into that college, or that get into that company, which you are, like, obviously getting into after 2 years. So you can save your time, you can save your money. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So there was one more question. What is the importance of semester results of placement? See, I'll say, it it is not that important, semester results, but semester studies are very important. As in, I told you, like, the conceptual things which you study in BTech, what faculties teach you, that is very important for you to, you know um, have that knowledge, have that basic knowledge, so that you can go further. And, like, make your interest in that field. Suppose you want to be a, like, you want to go into DBMS, you want to go into, like, graphics, you want to go into AI. So I think basics of all that is in semester academic, and the results are not that important, but the studies are very important. And results would automatically come if you have interest in that particular subject. So you don't worry about semester results. You worry about, being, like, have a basic semester result, have a base, like, I'll tell you, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, I guess till fifth I was not able to cross 80 percentage. And then sixth, seventh, eighth was like, I guess CSU2 becomes lenient, so you get 80%. I guess, I think that, because I didn't put any more effort in semester thing, I just put in, like, studying all the things which will be helpful to me. So I will take that topic which is important to me, like all these things which I told you. And suppose there was some other topic which you don't have interest in, so you can just, For the sake of exams, you have to do it. So it's the education system which you can't deny. But whatever field you are interested in, please read, please study that very specifically into that, and don't worry about the results because that don't matter that much. But you should have a basic percentage, as in 75 or 80 percentage basic you should have, so that you don't have to get eliminated because of your BTech percentage or your CGP. So to avoid that, you should have a good result. You should have like semesters. Many companies don't take them. Many companies don't see whether you are having a 7 CGPA or 8 CGPA. But if some company sees, and that is your dream company, that your dream is started even in even before starting. That's all. I think you got the importance of here. Result. Is it more beneficial during placements if we have a dual degree like you do? No, not at all. See, I'm telling you, uh, I'm doing M.Tech. I'm doing M.Tech, and when I went into Walmart, there are so many colleges. There are so many students who just did BTech and came into that college, and there are some people who did off campus also. Just like that, I'll tell you the names of IGDTU. There is a university, DTU University, IG College for Women. There is this. I don't remember this college. Some you know there was some college which we didn't even hear, and the student was there from that college. So his name is Divyanshu, I guess Divyanshu. Yeah. So he was not in my team, but he was in like one of our interns when we were getting introduced to. So it was like and they specifically told that he has applied in that, and that was not an on-campus hiring, that was an off-campus hiring. So it's not at all beneficial that do BTech and M.Tech and then you get selected in some company. After BTech, you can easily get into any company off campus. On campus is a see on campus is an advantage because there are many less people who are applying into that, and the company just sees those batch of people, batch of students. But in off campus, it's like there are many people, but you should be confident. You should have confidence in your skills and your potential. That okay, even if it's off campus, then my CV is good enough that they will see and they will recognize my potential in that. So have I think this is a yeah. How to choose the perfect career option without knowing the interest? That is actually pretty difficult to say. How to choose? See, knowing the interest, okay, without knowing interest. So you should have at least some interest in anything, maybe not in studies, but in anything. So you can go for that. But you should see that you are having you like will earn because okay, that is your passion. But when passion becomes profession, that is where you would be successful enough, to say that okay, I like this career and I want to opt into without knowing that. See, it's not you can see huh first step you can do is you can study for both of them, study for both of the as in if there are data science and process developer, suppose I'll take these two, you can study for both of these fields. So and then see okay what you're interested, and you're having you're ready to explore these all uh, what do you say these all fields and all that. So you can start by that if you're not, and if you don't want to study, I can say like if you don't want to go into either of them, you can offer any others, like suppose networking, if you are interested in networking and research thing in networking, so you can go for that. So uh, there are RAs and as research assistants, um, to which you can be a research assistant in any college, and then you can explore this option. No, it does not go through gate or anything. You can directly apply in the career portal of the college that I want to be a research assistant and I am interested in this field. So they'll have an interview of yours. They'll have an interview, and then you can go for it. So can you tell the step-by-step roadmap of becoming a full stack developer for an absolute beginner? Okay, I'll share one document. I'll share a document of resources as in I think so. See, full stack developer, I told you there are basically three things: front end, back end, and framework. So you can start by either of them. You can and um, you can just go on. And first of all, you have to select you have to select your language as what you need to go into. As an front end has React and Angular, and has more as in if you want to go to basics. So you can go for HTML, CSS, and all. But I'll suggest that if you just a beginner, then you go for first JavaScript, and then go for React or Angular, and in the frameworks you go for Jersey, and then you go for this Spring Boot and all that. So you have a basic conceptual, and before even doing Jersey, you should have a knowledge of Java. So for any software development, Java is very important. See, Spring Boot is basically Java, and you have to have a knowledge of Java. In databases, you should have knowledge of MySQL and NoMySQL. That is, like I'll give you I'll give you steps of resources, and you can go with that. Hi sir, how to apply for internship vocation and second sem is online internship good idea during the pandemic. It's a very good idea actually during the pandemic because they would see your potential, and nowadays everyone is working from home, so online internship is not at all hindrance or backstep that okay online internship is not good. Online is very good nowadays. And how to apply? I told you, you go into LinkedIn, you build your profile, you apply into career portals. They will have many portals. One is Internshala also, I guess, other than LinkedIn. In Internshala also there are sometimes unpaid internships which you can do. And if you're in second sem, this is a very good opportunity. As in, you can do unpaid internship. There's no necessity to be paid for doing something because you're at a learning stage. So you clearly focus on that. And you can go to Internshala, you can go to LinkedIn and apply in the career portal of them. First, you see that like what internship you want to do. If you want to do just developer, then you can go for any of the LinkedIn Internshala. Okay, like there are portals for that. I have four questions which I want to ask. Okay, you asked, so I will tell you. First, well, hello sir, will it be helpful for doing BSc Data Science online course which are offered now? BSc Data Science online course. I'm in second sem civil engineering. I don't know about this course, BSc Data Science online course, but if it's a data science online course, you should first of all, before doing any course, you should see the contents of that course, what they are teaching. If you see into Google, okay, what are the steps for to become a data scientist or on that. If that basic requirements are cleared by this course, then you should definitely go for it. And if you're in second sem, then this is a good time to start ML if you want to go into data science. So you should see first of all the requirements that are need to be data scientist. What are the things what are the languages, what are the skills required to be a data scientist. Then you should see that whether this course is offering me at least 50% or 20% of it, the basics. So for basics, you can go for it if it's accommodating that. How to study from overhead like your friend who is in Germany. So see, I told you he what he did first he chose that field he is interested in. So he was basically in third year you have no basic interest, you have interest in ML or you have interest in basic like some see he had an interest in exploring models of the machine learning, like how can I make models of machine learning efficient. So he saw that okay, this professor from Germany, he is working on that. So he directly mailed the professor that okay sir, I'm here you go and I'm interested in this, and I just have basic knowledge of ML. Can I come, can I be a part of your like internship? Can I do an internship under you? It would be great opportunity for me. So see, he didn't get any. He got scholarship because he was from IIIT, and IIIT is actually renowned institute from in India, but abroad. So when you go to some abroad or something, so scholarships are mandatory. But if you can like be at your expense and all that, so definitely, first you have to see what you're interested. You have to mail professors of many colleges. Then some professors would reply, okay, you can do internship, and then you can talk with the basic necessities as what you have to do and how you have to come there. A difference between pay package of on and off campus. See, on campus is very what I would say ki on campus is fixed. And off campus you can negotiate with the with the interview with the HR uh, if you are skillful enough, you have potential enough, then you can negotiate. See, off campus, always people negotiate with their salaries whenever they are applying for off campus. And in on campus, it's actually fixed because there are many students who are applying for the same company. So they won't, negotiate with everyone. They just say that this is a fixed income and you will get this much. And sometimes what happens, they reduce that income. As in, sometimes they say later part of the stage they reduce that income. As in, not the base salary, but the extra what do you say allowances which you get, they sometimes reduce that. um, so this all happens in on campus, and in off campus you will get a you will be able to negotiate with people that okay, I was getting this much salary in some other company, so I want at least 25% or 50% hike from that. So you can negotiate, but it will be clearly based on how you give your interview, how you give your like how you present yourself. Is do you have enough potential to that? Like, why did you choose full stack over data science? If you told I didn't like machine learning that much because, and I told you my interest was since starting my interest was in making backend and frameworks, making Spring Boot APIs and all that. So I chose full stack, and also when I did data science, I was not understanding at all the models or data science, the regression models. There was many things in it. So I did not like have interest in any of that. Yeah, so MBA versus M.Tech versus MS. So MBA, I told MBA is the management thing. MBA is management, not a technical thing. Technical, I told you. Uh,
So there,
sorry.
yes,
Yeah.
sir. So there are more few questions like, what were the requirements for the Walmart internship? Like, was there any criteria set or the knowledge check sort of thing?
Okay. First, I'll complete this MBA versus M.Tech versus MS and this, and then so M.Tech is basically this thing only I told you, industry oriented. In India, M.Tech is industry oriented, and you can go for research also in M.Tech. But M.Tech is basically technical things. MBA is management, as in you have to manage. You have to be consultant to some company and tell them okay how to be efficient, how to increase your profits and all that. That is MBA in a nutshell. That like, the basic the advanced things of MBA I don't know. M.Tech, I told you, M.Tech is basically technical approach to any company, being a technical officer as a software developer or something like that. So that is M.Tech. And MS is research oriented. You want to explore that field. You want to, contribute yourself, contribute to the um, uh, making that if there is some, existing logic, existing algorithm, suppose. So you want to explore that algorithm and you want to make it more efficient, you want to make it more non-complex, then that is a basic thing of MS. This is not MS as such, but what you have to understand by MS as in this is research oriented. You have to research in some topic and then make it more, you know, efficient. What's the pay package of SD3 in Walmart? I don't know and I can't tell. Sorry. MBA, Tech or MS which has more package. See, it all depends on the company which is hiring. MBA, see, suppose if Infosys is hiring for MBA or M.Tech, then they would have different packages, and you cannot say that through the degrees. It can only be, it depends on the company what they're hiring. Uh, so it's like that. So packages actually does not depend on the degree, but depends on the company what you have. And regarding Harzot question, what was that?
So like,
Requirements of, yeah.
was there any criteria set or eligibility this type of thing?
Yeah, so I will say first when on campus when they come, so every first they do is eliminate most of the people eliminate because they want to do it very fast. On campus people also the companies also do it who want to complete the on campus hiring very fast. So first they set a criteria of CGPA, then they do CV screening, then they so Walmart didn't do CV screening. They took CGPA criteria as in, out of four it should be 3.25. That was a high criteria, and but then when they talked to the placement officer, it was reduced to 3.75 or 3, I guess. And then many people were able to get the rounds, next round. The first round was the coding round and aptitude round. So there were two questions in coding round, and we were given 30 minutes for both of them questions. And then there were 30 minutes aptitude and code snippets round, having CS conceptual topics, and we were given 30 minutes for that. So 1 minute for each question in aptitude and CS, and two questions. So in one question it was strings and I remember I used strings and I used stack for the strings and I was able to complete. The second was a DP question, and dynamic programming is a little complex than these basic data structures, but when you'll understand dynamic programming, then like, it will be very easy. So this was the first round, and then for summer internship they directly go for HR interviews. In normal full-time jobs, they go for two technical rounds and then they go for this HR interview. In for summer internship, they directly went for HR interview in which the HR came and then I told you what he asked to tell about myself, to for some personal questions, some situations which I can do. And it's not at all that if you are getting a summer internship or getting an internship, then you will be getting full time job easily. I gave two technical interviews for my summer internship conversion also, as in when it was my summer internship was about to complete. I gave two 1 hour technical rounds in which I was telling all these technical skills. What I did in Walmart, how I made that product, what was I building, efficient, how was I able to manage my time with all that, how was I, and what are more things that I can add to this. And they asked about some, you know, basket analysis. I didn't know anything about basket analysis. I didn't know anything about design patterns. So design patterns like how you write the code, in what way you write the code. So suppose there's factory design pattern. So factory design as it's just similar to an analogy as in factory. So in factory you make a product and then you mold that product into make a like basic raw material. And so you mold that raw material into different things. So that is a factory design pattern. As in, you're making a super class, but you are not, defining its characteristics. So while making subclasses, you are defining the characteristics. So that is a factory design pattern. So all that. So that was the two interviews I gave in Walmart while my summer internship conversion. So these were the requirements. Every company has its own requirements. Microsoft did not have any requirement. They said all people can give the coding round, but coding round it would be there were three questions with 10 test cases each, and you should complete at least 25 test cases. As in 2.5 questions you should have completed, which I couldn't complete. I could complete only two questions, and I couldn't complete the third question. So I was not selected. I was not selected in the first round of education. So it was that. So these are actually many companies have their own criteria to eliminate most of them. To eliminate in off-campus hiring, they have this CV screening, and they select only CVs which they find very suitable for their field, for their own company, for what they are hiring. Just like that.
Hello,
Okay, sir.
sir.
So, oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Sir,
how's it?
I'm Arshdeep Singh, sir. In second year,
Yeah.
sir, I have to crack gate also and do internship also. So, what should be my approach, sir?
See, internship. First of all, for internship, you have to select the company. So now it's what is the month? June. So internship, I guess internship month is gone. May, June is the internship, summer internship month, which is there. But if you want to do winter internship, as in December 1 month or something, so you can apply for internship. 1 month internship generally companies don't. Big companies don't give 1 month internship. They at least take 2 or 3 months of your like summers or winters, and then they do. And see, cracking gate, I'll tell you. Was not that difficult if I'm preparing for placements. You should be able to manage your time first of all. Tracking it would be one part, getting into internship would be the other part. So you have to manage your time as to how to do it. So what I told you, I used to do coding also, I used to do aptitude also, and then I used to do for gate also. I used to learn for gate also, and then I have to do semester work also. So these are all the four things which I had to do in one day. And then I had to take a break and play also because that was very important for me to take a break and be de-stress myself. So what I did, I told you, I targeted for 10 questions a day. 10 questions would be very much, but I still did. So it took me around 2 to 3 hours of the day. For an aptitude, I did from third semester, so I only give 30 minutes to aptitude. And if I was doing from RS Agrawal quantitative aptitude, so I took around 20 or 30 questions in 30 minutes. If I'm doing for Arun Sharma, that would take me very much time, as in I was only able to do 4 or 5 questions in 30 minutes. So it depends on how much time you're giving. Then for gate, I used to give around in beginning in third year I used to give around 5 to 6 hours. That's it, 5 to 6 hours. And see, I did aptitude somewhere between the classes myself. When I was going to college and all, I used to solve that aptitude in the class in between classes. As in whenever I find time, I used to solve those questions. I kept a target, and I suggest that don't keep a target of time, but keep work target. As in you should be work oriented very much. As in if you decide you have to do 30 questions, that you complete 30 questions even if you're taking 1 hour into that. So that's how I approached myself. Okay, I'll do this aptitude questions when I'm in college. So before going to home, I should have completed these questions, and I was able to. And then going home, I took a break, and then before dinner i used to I used to do some gate things, 2 hours or 3 hours, and then after dinner I used to give 2 hours, so basically 5 hours, and then coding question how much I was able to do. So it would take me around two o'clock to sleep, and then check my phone. I used to check my phone between so that but still I didn't waste that much time. Till 2 o'clock I used to study and then sleep, because 6 to 7 hours is enough uh, to sleep. So at 9 o'clock I used to wake up. So like the basic routine went like that from sixth year. Like that.
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, which books you preferred for aptitude, sir?
So in
For
third
for
semester, yeah,
for placement, sir.
for placement space, go just for quantitative aptitude by RS Agrawal. You get a free PDF from anywhere, or you can buy that book. I took that book from library actually, BIT library, and I kept it for like I used to reissue it every time. So I kept that book, and then when I used to suggest someone, so I had this PDF. I will share it to someone from here, or I go to Monica, and she'll share it to all of you. Uh, I used to go just for quantitative aptitude by RS Agrawal for placement. If you want, for GATE, even GATE, if you want to go, then that is book is like sufficient and very much enough. Except that you are doing some mock tests and all that in the later stages of last year of GATE. But if you are going for CAT, if someone is going for CAT, then Arun Sharma is a must enough, like enough, but a must book to grasp all the types of questions that come in. So quantitative aptitude by RS Agrawal. Answer.
Sir, what should a new by first year student should do by the end of the year? Like to plans, like what should they do?
What should they do, as in what
Like to plan the some
to
like
plan for the
many
future, as in?
yeah.
So first of all, then if you're in first year, then you should definitely right now you should be able to learn the languages, programming languages. So you should do coding first of all. You should be able to grasp all the coding things. Um, as in there's hacker rank first of all. Then there is GFG must do questions. Then there is code. So you should do coding at least 2 to 3 questions a day. And like, even if you are studying now, then you can do this all these things, coding question. Then you should have the technical skills, as in software. If you want to go into software development, if you like making software, suppose every computer science engineer wants to make a software. Right? This is the basic the thought process of any, that I'll be able to make websites, or I'll be able to make mobile applications, something like that. If you want to do that, if you want to start with a website or web application, web apps, actually, not website, web applications. So you should go for you know uh, the learning languages like Spring Boot, React, and all that. Or you can start with basics, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and connect with that backend and MySQL. In first year, you have like you have time, so you can do anything, you can explore anything, and you can learn everything. Actually. You learn everything, and you can see that okay, I'm interested in this. You can go for it. First year, not like internships. Before internships, you should go for the learning stage. The first year and third semester is basically fourth semester. Fourth semester you should always go for learning, and after fourth semester you should go for internship, so that it will build your resume, it will build your CV, and also you will have a great experience of doing professional things.
Okay, sir. So like what should we do when we are getting rejected by or waiting for the response from a long time from a particular internship?
So you should first of all end that hope right there, end the hope right there. Okay, I'm not getting. I should um, try for another company. See, I told you I got rejected for 7 companies. What should be the mindset of because my friends were getting into companies, and I was not able to clear the return round because not I was not that much skillful in coding languages, as in coding. Because I did GATE, then I took a very long break of coding. So I had this very long gap from because of which I was not able to do it. So you should never leave coding, because that is the first round of every company, any company. For internship also, they would ask you data structures and all. Because data structures are a must for any logic building skills or application related data. So if you are waiting for a company, then you should not at all think of the what should I do? Maybe I should mail one more time. No, that is their process going on. Maybe they are thinking of you, but they have a long process of selecting an intern and all that. So you should not wait for it, but you can apply for another. So what should I do till the end of my first year? I just answered. So if I do BTech, then MBS, I can apply for IT companies. At IT companies, there are as in there openings for MBA people, as in consultants, and I don't know that much. But my sister is actually in an IT company, and she has an MBA. So You can apply, but not for technical things. Then it would be particularly for management and all. Like I'm telling consultancy, and I don't remember the exact word for that, but basically for managing management and all, but not technical. So if you want to do M.Tech, then you can apply for IT companies and in technical things. If you're doing MBA, then it will be for management. You can apply for IT companies. There's no, but your field would be completely different. How many levels are there for SDE1 and CEO? So first of all, you are in which year, Aman? First year. So first year you should simply think. Right now you should think of learning all the things. I'll tell you SD1, then SD2, SD3, then it's tech lead, then it's EM, engineering manager, who has a team of around 100 people, and he sees around 4 to 5 tech leads. And then EM के ऊपर आता है EM2, EM2 के ऊपर आता है VP, VP के ऊपर आता है. So how to improve communication skills as an introvert? I'll say Monica ma'am knows this the best how to improve. So if Monica ma'am still takes communication skills. So whenever she's taking all that, and she'll bring you, as in she'll tell you to be on the stage, so you be on the stage. First of all, you don't hesitate yourself. Even if people make jokes on yourself, I have been through this. People have made jokes on me. As everybody laughs when somebody speaks. That is the basic answer here. I know that, and even we used to do if our friends go into the podium and speak. So should not fear that. You should always think about yourself, and you should see that you are the one who is standing and everyone is sitting and listening to you, and they're laughing, so they're listening to you. It's not that they're interrupting you or something. They're listening to you, and they have to listen to you because they're sitting there. So think that as a good thing. Okay, I am standing and they are sitting, so you have a higher place than them. And second, to improve communication skills by your own, you should always, um, see, I'll tell reading, but reading novels and all that, reading articles and newspapers, that could be a thing, but I didn't, I never believed in that, first of all. I always believed in talking to people would make myself very confident. Always did this. I used to talk to people, I used to text, like we do texting a lot and all that. So I basically improve my confidence to these things only, as in with texting, with seeing, with talking to someone, or presenting yourself, or when you do some achievement, you post it somewhere, like some of Instagram. So I'm very active in Instagram, so I posted it there whenever I used to achieve something. I posted in LinkedIn whenever I used to achieve something. That improved my confidence, and this only improves your communication skills. When you'll be confident about yourself, you'll not hesitate to communicate with people, because you would have so much to speak. You have so much to present. You'll be able to present yourself. That will bring up your communication skills. That will enhance your way of communication, enhance your attitude while speaking. You will not be like fearing people. Okay, am I like, will they judge me? Alright, let them judge you. Don't even think of that. If they see they're judging means they don't have any other work. That is a line that is a everyone says, but I'm saying that you should always focus on yourself. You should be confident, and you try to achieve things first of all. Suppose you try to learn something, you'll get a certification, you'll be very confident. Okay, I know this thing, I know this language. You'll talk to someone and they'll be like impressed, and they will be replying to you positively. If you're speaking in front of 10 people and all the 10 people are saying to you, then you'll be very confident. At first case, you will be hesitating, you will be stammering while saying, but that won't be, in the later part of your life, because that we will learn. Okay, then I have to be confident about myself that people don't laugh at me. You think that, and then you think, okay, let me say it this way this time. Let me present myself different way, so that people listen to me. And when 10 people listen to you, automatically you will have so much confidence that you can do anything. So achieve something, or try to achieve something, put efforts in anything, which and it builds your confidence. So
I,
I'll share an example of myself. Like I used to do stock trading and all that. I used to do stock trading, and even if I lost couple of bucks or some days in stocks, but I still had confidence to share my experience because I put 100% effort in that. I learned very much. I earned also. It's not like I lost. I earned also. I lost, I earned, but I was putting my 100% effort. That's why I was able to share my experience, and people are listening to me because they don't know that. Some people don't know that, and if people know that, they would relate that with you. Okay, yeah, I also went through the same scenario, and that would build a confidence because gave some when you have the proper knowledge of something, then you would not even hesitate to share that experience. So that's how you improve your communication skills, I guess. I think I answered
Yes,
you.
Yes, sir. I
Ritik.
hope
Yeah,
everyone's
Anna.
queries have been solved.
Yes,
Yeah.
you are absolutely right. You were the I was listening to you since last 1 hour, and the confidence you have built up
Yes,
in these 2 years, it is amazing. I really appreciate the way you have explained each and everything, and your experience with in BTech and M.Tech too. Really amazing, Ritik. And I remember the day when you selected in tech system and you called me at 9:30
yes,
p.m. and
yes,
shared all the experience with me, that how it went, and you were the only person who have selected
yes, yes.
that time, yeah, and the higher package also, the much higher package than others, right?
And
Thank you, Ritik, for accepting my request to come here
uh,
and share your experience.
I'm obliged now. It was a pleasure. I'm sorry for delaying it for like 2 3 months. I was very busy in the internships and all. I'm so sorry for
Yeah, I know that. That's why you are so much confident in that, the technology you have learned. Very proud of you.
that. And
Thank you. Thank you.
uh, I'll share this resources folder with as in the doc. Can somebody copy and this I'll keep on adding when I'll take suggestions from my friends in data science and networking team. I have added full stack developer thing, everything, and the competitive languages as in how I approach, and this is the document. And you can Harjot, you can distribute this to everyone.
Yeah, sure,
And
sir.
I'll keep on adding all these things. I'll keep on adding all these things. Like I'll ask from my friends about data science and all that for networking or for PhD, how to approach and all that. What are the interview experiences of them? I'll share that in this same document, and I'll keep on updating this.
Yes, sure, sir. Okay, so now coming to the end of this session, I would again like to thank our luminary speaker, Ritik Kakwani, sir, for this amazing session and sparing his busy schedule and giving us time for guidance and support. We gained a lot of knowledge, sir, from this session. It was really amazing, and I hope everyone got their reference to work on. So we look forward to you, sir, and wish you a bright future ahead. Thank you, sir. It was really beneficial and grateful for all of us to be here.
Yeah, if actually if somebody wants to connect to me after this, as in if somebody wants to, then
Yes, sir.
this is my WhatsApp number. They can connect with. Uh, and see, I'm active on Instagram very much, so I'll suggest that username. So you can just ping me on that or anywhere if you want to. And like if you want to go, like, if you want to connect to Monica ma'am for anything, then you can like, tell her then it's okay. No problem. If you want to ask any questions beyond like after this session or
Yes,
something, or anytime, it's not just after this session, but anytime you want to seek help or something, suggestion, I'll be more than happy to
sure,
provide you
sir.
help.
We would love to connect to you, sir. Thank you so much for coming here, sir. Okay, so I would further like to thank the CSI Association for giving us the opportunity for conducting this amazing event. I would also like to thank the fellow CSI associates for making this event a success. Now, I would request you all to kindly switch on your cameras for an amazing snapshot. Please, it is requested to turn on your cameras. Okay, thank you, everyone. So this wraps up our session. I hope this encourage you guys to work harder and achieve your dream internships and placements. Thank you all for joining. Enjoy the
Thank
rest
you,
of the
sir.
day and stay safe. Keep learning, everyone. Thank you.